thought I'd try something a little different today. Okay, in Japan, their Power Rangers started like 15 years before we ever got a Power Rangers series. It has Super Sentai, as Mitsu Sentai Gorenja. Now, the current series we're on, Mega Force, is actually two series. First, we've got right now is Go Stager, also known as Tenso, which means invoke, apparently, Squadron, or Sentai Go Stager. I do not know what Go Rangers thing means. Um, and Kaizok Sentai, or Pirate Squadron Gokaiger, is coming later on. Now, here's the stupid thing: there's a lot of continuity errors right in the first episode of Gokaiger. First of all, Megaforce, sorry, not Gokaiger. First of all, okay, Gosei claims he was a student of Zordon. Where the heck has he been this whole time? Supposedly a student. Barja, I believe it is, was the name of Zordon in Japan, and he was actually only the mentor to the Jew Rangers, also known as MMPR Season 1. Well, Zords and suits for all three seasons, except for the Alien Rangers, which is Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. Anyway, another continuity error is, if you notice along the walls, it looks like there's tiny little rangers. Those are ranger keys. Ranger keys were introduced in Gokaiger. So supposedly between Ghost Stager and Gokaiger, the Super Sentai gave up their powers, sending some evil alien army packing. Now, I created the Ranger keys. No, that does not mean the Rangers can't morph anymore. Technically, right now they can't. But if for some reason a past Sentai or Ranger has lost their powers for whatever reason, but gets their Ranger key back, they can morph. So, yeah, say Tommy Oliver, aka Dr. Oliver from Dino Thunder and Power Rangers seasons 1, 2, and 3, were to get the Green Ranger key back in season 1. He'd be able to turn back into the Green Ranger, even though supposedly the powers were kind of lost in time because the guy who had them was a clone of his and was sent back in time. This is an example. Or the Ninja Eddie powers. Or his White Ranger powers from season 2, which is actually a completely different season, which I'll get to in a minute. Here's the thing that really bugs me. Gokaiger has what's called greater powers. The greater powers of the Gokaigers season is basically they get approval from a previous team, like, well, okay, let's go with Jetman, Chosen Sentai Jetman, the team right before season 1 of PR. They get approval from any ranger from the team, and then the keys start glowing. Little keys. I do not have any ranger keys because they have not been released yet. I do not want to pay the money to get the Japanese versions. Yeah, I looked at something recently for the new Sentai, Kyoryuger, which does not have a greater power, as far as I know. Well, they probably do, but they don't have ranger keys. The greater power from Jetman is actually given to them by Black Condor. Black Condor, at the end of Jetman, actually died. But yeah, he's back. No human can see him, strangely. But yeah, he can still morph for whatever reason. Yeah, apparently any dead Sentai that shows up as a spirit can still morph. He gives the Rangers the greater power of the Jetman to help defeat an old rival of Captain Marvelous, or Gokai Red. Here is the really stupid thing about that greater power. Some of the greater powers, like the Mystic Force greater power, give you a sword or a vehicle or a combination of the swords. In the case of Magi Ranger, which is Magi Dragon, and the dogs better shut up. Oh, anyway, yeah, that's fine. Give us something that we can combine with a Megazord. Here's the stupid thing. Jetman's greater power is not a Zord. It's their finisher, the Jet Phoenix. Yeah! How stupid is that? Sure, it's older. It's older than PR. Or the Power Rangers. So, like, 21 years. Maybe more. No, 22. Because 20 years here, 21 in Japan. Because up until Samurai, we got Power Rangers 1 year after it premiered in Japan. But for whatever reason, Japan or North America decided to run that stupid remake of season 1, which didn't even finish, from what I've seen. There are other creative powers that have the same problem, like Turbo, Power Rangers Turbo. Not to be confused with a team before even Jetman, known as Tokusatsu Sentai Turbo Ranger. Sorry, I was getting them mixed up. Turbo Ranger was before MVPR. Car Ranger is actually what we call Power Rangers Turbo. Which actually comes in very funny in the episode where the Kaijus actually get the greater power of the Car Rangers. He says something, the Red Ranger says something to the effect of shift into turbo, but they're like, okay, turbo. They whip out the turbo key, the Turbo Ranger keys. Yeah! No, he meant the Car Ranger keys. Now here's the really stupid thing. Speaking of Car Ranger, okay, they've got keys for the main 5, basically, in Ranger. And then there's 6 Ranger keys, like for Green Ranger, White Ranger from Season 2, Quantum Rangers, etc., etc. And then they've got extra heroes. Okay, we get Signal Man, also known as the Blue Centurion, as an extra Ranger. But officially, Car Ranger, also known as Power Rangers Turbo, has no 6th Ranger. There's no Ranger that's officially counted as a 6th Ranger. I don't mind Gokaiger's greater powers, but I wish there was more greater powers that were like Zords or something. So that's my little rant on the greater powers of Gokaiger. If you guys want to know anything else about the greater powers of like a specific team, just ask in the comments below. See you next time.